Right, jet setters. Well, really nothing changed from the last video I did, really. So I'm doing these just as a placeholder, I guess. Nothing really unexpected. So this is what I had last week. This is a monthly. Because I said last week, I've basically closed out my bonds and equity positions. Still got gold on, still got some FX on. But to me, when we were looking at this last week, we had this trend line, this channel in the S&P, and said, look, it touched this, and it's kind of done, really like the hard work. It hit the bottom of that channel. It had done a 38 retracement. It had filled in this gap in here. And funnily enough, I guess I just got to update it, right? There we go. Let's update it for the next 2 weeks. Couple weeks, next month. And funnily enough, as much as it filled that gap, it kind of went to the top of it. You can see it more clearly on a bigger time scale. So this move in here, to me, was always a bit sketchy because it just broke through. It was like 3,970 went up. It's up to 4,060, something like that. 4,150 went straight through, and this gap never really filled it. Anyway, it came back and it filled it, and it's obviously hit the bottom and come back up to the top. So it's, you can see more clearly on the weekly how it's those wicks there. It's just filled that whole range. So I don't really have much to add on the US indices. As I said, this is just a bit of a placeholder. I guess we can see on a bigger retracement, it came back almost, well, actually it's bang on, isn't it? There we go, bang on that 23 retracement. So it's still holding my thesis, I guess, one of a better word, my view that it's kind of done the hard work. The rallies are not convincing, though, I have to say. I still think that this could very well turn around and chop sideways to lower. But having said that, who knows? Maybe we have seen the low for the time being. That's the. But as it stands, I'm out for the moment on this one. The Russell, same story. Like, so, this is the monthly. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Whooshka from COVID. Ka-ching, sitting right on that 32, right on the bottom line of the trend. Shot through, right, to the bottom of this area it was rolling over, right, which is like those highs, like the COVID high and back in 2018. Touched it, came back, sitting on a 38 to behaving very nice technically. It's still rolling over, right, at least on the monthly. What's it like on the weekly? Oh yeah, oversold on the weekly. Like I said that last one. So look, really nothing much to do there in my mind. I guess I've got a quiet eye on looking at selling the rallies. I still don't. I can't see it regaining the highs, right? That's the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq still has some pretty nasty potential to the downside. It has hit a 23. Interesting. That's from like the 2008, 2009 low, or GFC low. But it hasn't returned to the channel, this level of normality. As I said, the way in which I'll view these channels is this is normal run-of-the-mill behaviour, up and down growth over time. When it jumps outside of it, it's abnormal. It's now returning to normal. So it's within the normal range, but could have more to go there. Dow, same story, right? I mean, it's from last week, right? It's got the big channel. Touch, a little bit of noise coming through, but nothing holding that break. Touch, bang on. 32 retracement, 32 retracement, and just fill that little gap in there. It's a bit ho-hum, really. Bonds. They've reached my target. This is on a log scale, on a linear scale. You can draw like that, I guess. Either way, it's to me, it's done its hard yards, heavily overbought, oversold on the bonds, importantly yields. Previous 2018 high, I think I've mentioned a number of times before, this 2018 spike in the yields corresponded with a 20% drop in the S&P. We've seen a 20% drop in the S&P. The 10 years, same thing. This is the 10 years and the 2 years. So the 2 years is in that purple colour, mauve, lavender. It's not lavender. Don't know what it's called. There is, if you're looking on a daily thing, head and shoulders a little bit. Put that to a stretch. Might as well like to, I don't know if I can't be bothered drawing that, can't be fucked. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, weakening RSI. That's for a lot of people, that's a telltale head and shoulders. In any case, to me, that's a topping pattern. It is started to turn on the linear. You can see it more clearly, that head and shoulders. Gold to me still has potential to roll over. Look, I should probably draw a little line there, trend line. My view on gold is still that it's going to come down. It's going to fill this big gap in there. The Aussie dollar, I'm still long the Aussie dollar. I'm looking for an ABC, a 1, 2, 3, something like that. If inflation persists, that could be good for commodities. Won't exactly help my gold position, but it'll help my Aussie position. One leg either side of the fence. So you can see it came back. It hit that 50% retracement of that move. There's a lot of support down here, and that's 68.5 realm. It's tested that, didn't follow through. The dollar index has come off the ball. I'm actually going short the yen. Let me have a quick look at the yen. Dollar, Japanese yen. I've got short the yen, and that's why. You kind of look at this this big space in here. That is, for me, that's one of those things I look at like screaming to be filled. So I've been short the yen. We'll wait to see if it comes off. It does fit that pattern that I look for, where it's shot up pretty much in one go. There's a bit of a correction there. A set of declining highs against a neckline, and I think if it breaks this 127 convincingly, it could have quite a sudden and sharp move down. To me, this is looking more like it's going to correct to the downside rather than getting ready for a leg up. That's pretty much it. Let's look at one last one. Let's look at there's the Dow. We looked at that one. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, if there's something in the market that's going to crack, that's going to cause a big leg lower, this is the one that I think is probably most likely to lead, or at least strongly participate in it. These are all the reasons why I think it's going to go. I've seen this. There's some heaps of videos I've done in the past. And you can see it is really struggling around this 30,000 level. Fits my kind of pattern of shot up. It's got this neckline here. It's been struggling. It really hasn't been making high highs. This little bearish flag, if it follows through, could go all the way down there. Just going to add in, let's have a look, take out that one. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so it has hit that, that leg is half of that leg. That's what that 50 is. So, so it makes sense for a few reasons to just pause there. To me, this, this is a bit of, this could have quite a sudden retracement in there. That's the flip side, right? That's my pattern upside down, where it has a big move. It hasn't really been having lower or higher lows there, right? It's actually more of a little flag like this. Pennant, I guess you'd call it. Maybe it's breaking up. But in any case, that to me looks a bit more like a bear flag to to continue. And the theory on those is whatever that is there, that is the same as what you get break on the downside. As in one and then one, who knows. Anyway, so that's shitcoin. But really, like, actually, it's not much to report this week. It's all within spec. I'm looking for some more strength that I'll probably sell into. The S&P, it is heavily overbought on the 4-hourly, which is one of the telltales that I look for. This is the cash market. That's why it's not overbought. What am I doing with the cash market? Let's look at the futures, the real market. Overbought on the 4-hourly. Yeah. So, yes, it's interesting. That could be the level to sell. Oh, yeah. 38 retracement, overbought, previous resistance. Look, if I've got nothing else better to do, I was planning on having a little break, a little bit of a sojourn. Yeah, that's a reasonable retracement level on a few measures. There's that fibbo from the high around about 38. Wash out the noise. It's not quite there yet. Take it from there. On that measure, it's kind of like through it. Let's look on the hourlies. I'm assuming the hourlies heavily overbought on the hourlies. Heavily bought over on the 2 hourlies. It'll be heavily over the 4 hourlies. Like, for me, that actually ticks the 3 biggest boxes for getting into a bit of a swing trade. I think I might have to do it. I don't really want to. Anyway, we'll see. I'm just a bit wary because with this big overshoot down there, it does have this market's had a nasty habit of, it could really go right up to 4,600 again. I guess that's the next level you'd be looking at. So yeah, I never know. I might short it here and have a stop. I guess the stop would be like there, 4,300. That's a bit far away though, I have to say. I think what I'll do is, if it kind of gets up, if it gets up to that level, I'd say I'd short it. I might do a cheeky little short here. Probably add to it if it gets up to there. I'll stop out if it got to there. I'll have a think about that. I'm not totally convinced because although on those RSIs, it looks to me like a pretty compelling sell. I'm just kind of thinking, I've got this on my mind with, this is like poorly formed, right? But it is sort of like this has been going on, right? And give or take a bit, and on these, they have a habit of reverting to middle. What about there? This is me thinking. This is what traders do. Kind of look at all these things and kind of weigh it up. This one, the jury's out. When I'm looking at it, I'm thinking there's a few cases. It's not overbought on the dailies, but that's not such a big thing for me. It's coming off a big resistance thing on that, on this monthly trend, which is all the way through there. Look at the closes, the closes, the closes, the closes. So it's coming off there. On a monthly basis, this is very bullish. Like, really bullish, right? Now you can see these big long wicks there. That's a very bullish signal. It's still rolling over though on the monthlies. It's overbought on the 4 hourlies. It's had a pretty vertical move for almost 200 points. It's hitting a level there. It could come back a fair bit. Look, I think, to me, this is bear market rally. That's my reading of the tea leaves. I think a short with a tight stop might be in order. I wouldn't be going long it. I think it's still very much a sell or rally. But that's really the only words of wisdom I've got this week. But really, my long-term positions are still very much off the table. Really, like they've kind of done their work, and I'm waiting to see another compelling one, and I can't see it at the moment. Anyway, look, that's about it. Have a good week. That's the end of my ramble. Ciao.